Hi everybody, welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to be reading books that I've been avoiding. I saw Rachel Catherine do this video and I really liked it. And I thought this would be a good idea for me because I have plenty of books on my TBR cart that have been sitting there for over a year now. I decided we are going to make this a little series and maybe, hopefully, I'll find books that I actually really love and was scared to read for no reason. So this is going to be technically episode 1 of this little mini series that I'm going to be doing. And first up on the roster, we have Ruthless Vows. This book I actually ended up choosing for my May TBR just because I knew I was gonna avoid this for a very long time if I didn't pick it up in the next month. And it being on my May TBR makes me want to read it for you guys because you kind of are expecting me to read this in the month of May. I read Divine Rivals last month in the month of April and I gave it a 3 stars. I enjoyed it, I had a good time, but I don't know if it was necessarily really my vibe. After I finished Divine Rivals, I picked up Ruthless Vows, I read the prologue, I put it back, and I never picked it up after that, and I just know if I don't pick it up soon, I'm never gonna touch it. I'm currently 140 pages in. I started it on Audible yesterday while I was at work. I'm actually really enjoying it. At first I was kind of bored because, like I said, I wasn't very passionate about the first book. And then put it on ×2 speed, so they were talking a little bit faster. And now it's actually holding my attention because they're not talking at a snail's pace. We are past the 100 page mark. We're definitely a little bit more into the action, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. Like, I found myself turning off the audiobook while I was at work and then wanting to turn it back on, which is a good thing. So things are looking up. This is still going to be a spoiler-free reading vlog, so don't worry about that. Yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling about it quite yet, but I am enjoying it definitely more than I thought I was going to. Diving more into the politics of this world rather than the romance, which is very prominent in the first book. And I feel like if I was reading this physically, I would be kind of bored right now, but because I'm listening to it, I feel like I'm finding it quite a bit more interesting. We're gonna do some more reading, maybe listen to it a little bit more at work today. I'm about to head out, and we will check back in. I'm on chapter 44. I'm 85% through, so I have about 50 pages left. Things are getting intense, okay? I'm actually really enjoying it. As far as audiobook, I think I have about 2 hours left on the audiobook. I think that I'm gonna be able to finish it while I'm at work today. Things are getting really intense. There's a war happening in this book, and we're definitely coming to a climax between these two gods. Things are getting really crazy, and I'm really curious to see how we're gonna wrap this all together in the last 50 pages. I think I am enjoying it on audiobook more than I did reading the first book. I'm glad I got myself to just read it and pick it up and just get it out of the way, because otherwise it was just gonna sit on my TBR cart for probably another year. And I'm excited to see how this all wraps up together. Ignore the hair situation right now because right now I know it's not the cutest. I did in fact finish Ruthless Vows last night. Let's debrief. I kind of have an unpopular opinion, but I actually liked this book better than I liked the first one. And I don't know if that's because I did it on an audiobook. First, I wasn't sure how I felt about doing a fantasy book on an audiobook. Usually I only do literary fiction or nonfiction on audiobooks because it tends to keep my attention a little bit better. The ending got me. I was invested by the end. I was rooting for the characters, and the first book just didn't bring out that feeling in me. But with that said, do I think that this was like my favorite book? No. I would definitely recommend this duology to people who like cozier fantasies, but am I probably going to talk about this duology or this book after this? Most likely not. I ended up rating this one a 3.5 stars. The first book I rated a 3 stars, and like I said, I liked this book a good amount more than the first book, but I still don't feel like it's in that 4-star range. I am very glad that I decided to read this. That's another book that we can check off our May TBR. That's kind of all I have to say about it. I picked up my next book, which is The Wishing Game. Now this book hasn't been on my TBR for that long, but it has been a book that I've been like very hesitant to pick up because it's not a genre I usually go for. I'm not usually a literary fiction girly. I debated also doing this one an audiobook, but honestly it's not that long. I just decided we're gonna read it. I've heard so many amazing things about this book, and I think that's what's made me put off reading it because I'm nervous. I'm nervous I'm not gonna like it and everyone else is raving about it. I feel like when a book is super hyped up, it makes me want to read it super bad, but also just super nervous to read it because it's so hyped up that I don't want it to ruin the book for me. I've only read the prologue and the first 2 chapters, and honestly, the prologue really hooked me. I really liked the way the prologue was written, so we're doing good so far. We're gonna get back to reading and we're gonna see how it goes. I just got to chapter 5. I am really enjoying it so far. I feel like the way it's written, it reads a little bit on the slower side. Don't get that confused with it being boring. It's not boring at all. I just feel like the pacing of the book is just a little bit slower. We have been introduced to Lucy. Just barely been introduced to Lucy and Christopher's relationship. Christopher is the little boy that Lucy is really wanting to adopt. We did just get to the part where the author of these famous books just announced the competition for the new book that he's coming out with, and he hasn't written in years and years. So everyone's kind of freaking out. And Christopher is like a huge fan of these series. It's giving Willy Wonka. The dedication literally says, "This book is dedicated to Charlie and to all of us who are still looking for our golden tickets." Because I don't really have a lot of time to read at the moment, I am just gonna do the audiobook when I'm cleaning today so I can do other stuff while I'm listening to it, and then I'm gonna pick up the physical copy again and then continue reading it on here. I'm on chapter 10, page 102, so I'm about 31% in. I'm actually really enjoying it. I feel like this book is just so wholesome. I feel like as much as this book is about Lucy wanting to get this money for Christopher and to adopt Christopher, it's also healing this part in Lucy that she didn't even know needed to be healed through going back to Clock Island. It's healing Lucy's inner child. I'm really liking it. I'm definitely seeing what the hype is about. It's not really like any other writing I've read before. I'm gonna keep reading and see how much I can get through tonight, and my goal is to finish it tomorrow, so. Got a little bit more reading done since you last saw me, but I'm really hoping I'll get to finish it today. I'm really liking it. We have some fun little riddles going on that they're having to figure out in order to win this copy of this book. And Jack Masterson, which is the author of said book that they're trying to win, You can tell he's a little mischievous. I'm loving just the storytelling sort of writing, but I'm very glad I finally got myself to pick up this book, and it's definitely paying off. So we are gonna do some more reading throughout the day. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna be able to film because I will be at work, but I will check back in with you guys when I can. Finished The Wishing Game. I ended up finishing it at work yesterday, and the end of this book it just flew by so fast. Let me just say, at the beginning, I was enjoying it, but I wasn't sure that I was gonna like fall in love with it. I thought I was just gonna kind of be there along for the ride, have a good time, but not really think about it much further. I'm not kidding when I say I loved this book. I loved this book so much. The ending, I was literally at work. I was reading the end and I was crying. Like, the end was so wholesome. It gave me the warmest feeling in my heart. I haven't had a book make me cry happy tears, I don't think ever. This book brought something out of me. I don't know what it was. If you don't read general fiction, read this book. If you don't know, I work at a bookstore, and I had so many customers telling me, you need to read this book, you need to pick it up, it's so good. Every single person that I had talked to had said they loved this book, and I'm so glad that I finally picked it up. Honestly, I'm having the hardest time deciding what I want to rate this. My original rating was a 4.5, but the more I'm sitting on this, the more I'm leaning towards a 5-star. It's just, I haven't ever cried like happy tears for a book, ever. You guys, I did not think we would get a 5-star out of this video, but I think I'm gonna rate this book a 5-star. Don't know how else to express how I'm feeling about this book. It was so good, and I feel like I'm gonna think about this book for many months to come. I know I kind of mentioned this before, but I really want to make this kind of a series on my channel, because hopefully this keeps happening where I'm really nervous to read the book for some reason. I keep putting it off, and then I get a 5-star. I'm literally so happy with the books that we read. Because honestly, if it wasn't for this video, I probably wouldn't have picked up these books for a very long time. I wanted to thank you guys for watching today's video and supporting my channel. You guys have no idea how much it means to me that you guys are subscribing and liking my videos. It really means a lot, and I love you guys. Comment down below other videos you're wanting to see from me, other book videos, or just lifestyle videos in general. I really appreciate you guys supporting my channel and watching my videos, and I will see you in the next one.